Hello, my friends. How are you? Welcome to the party. I'm here. It's Saturday. I appreciate you joining me. We're going to make a Slytherin sweatshirt because that is my Harry Potter house. I don't know about you, but I definitely needed a sweatshirt as soon as I saw this transfer and all the Harry Potter stuff. So I also knew that I was going to need to mix up some colors to get that perfect match for the Slytherin green. And I think I figured it out. So if you have a different house and you need the colors that you need to mix, you can comment colors right here and I will send you a message with the mixture of our inks that you can buy on my website, where you can make your own. Okay, so we're going to start with black velvet and pesto. Okay, and I'm going to probably go a little bit more than what I actually need for this, just to be sure that I have enough. Okay, both of these are inks. You can do this with the paste colors are the same, but I'm making a shirt, so obviously I want to use ink. Okay, I am going to add just a tiny bit of water because that is a little bit dry. I don't want it to be paint consistency, but it is a little bit dry, so hopefully that's not too dried out. Anyway, the key word is the word house, so come and join me. We're gonna make a sweatshirt. I'm gonna add just a tiny bit of black velvet to this, okay? And I'm just gonna add a little bit at a time, so I'm gonna put it over there on the side of this plate and then kind of mix it in. I don't want to darken it too much, and I fear that I have just done that too much. And now it looks more like something that I didn't want it to be. Like poo is what it looks like. Shh. Don't tell anyone. I'm going to add a little bit more pesto to this. And no more black. We're done with the black, okay? But now, all right, here we go. I think before I do anything, I'm going to add some water in here and just give this a bit of a stir. So I checked this jar before I started and it looked okay, but it was kind of thick looking. I did not stir it though, however, so. Alright. Now, don't forget the ink is gonna stain, okay? So don't be. I'm trying to stir this gently so that I don't fling it all over the place and make a giant mess, okay? And then I'll keep my stir stick separate from my mixing situation so that if I need to go back for more, I can. All right. That's looking a little bit better, I think. All right. So there's my mixed color, okay? I'm considering possibly adding a little bit of green and a different green in here. Let me see if I can find a different green. I think I have a meadow. I mean, I know I have meadow. But, ooh, you know what might be nice? Is a little bit of scout. I don't know. We're going to find out. This was not in my original plan. So, this is, I think, one of the limited colors, maybe. I don't remember. And I think it started out, Scout started out as a color of the month, if I remember correctly. But I just want more of a kind of a grassy type green color. And that pesto with the black just wasn't doing it for me. So I'm going to add a little bit more. scout to this and get a little bit more of a brighter. I feel like Slytherin colors are a little bit brighter than what I initially was having here, looking like baby poop. There, that's better. Okay, so that was the answer to that question was to add a little bit of Scout. But if you're still looking for your house colors and a good mix or a good place to start, reach out to me and I will help you come up with the mixture that will get you there. Okay? All right, so there's my mixed green color. Okay, this is the transfer reason. It's called House Accolades. And we're going to make a layered design. So, see if I have somewhere I can set all this stuff off to the side. And then I need a new baby wipe too, just for fun, right? Okay, so let's see. This sweatshirt I bought on Amazon. It is super duper soft. It's a Fruit of the Loom sweatshirt. But the inside is like real soft. Normally I just buy Gildan sweatshirts like from Hobby Lobby and they are not soft at all. This one is pretty excellent. If you want the link to get this, I can send you that too from Amazon. I'm gonna just lay this out. I'm not measuring it or anything. This is an extra large sweatshirt, which right now I'm probably closer to like a size medium, but I like a sweatshirt that's big and way bigger than just like a normal shirt. Okay, so that's why it's so giant. On me anyway, it would be big. So we're gonna start with the Slytherin, and I'm gonna actually, I was gonna put it right there, but I'm gonna move it over slightly, just a little bit off center, okay? And put that down right there. I didn't measure this or anything. I do have those little measuring things, but didn't even use one of those. I have a mini squeegee here, and we're gonna start with the green. I don't want the green to be the most prevalent on this. So I want to put that underneath. So we're going to go one layer of the green, and my ink is not super runny. So if your ink is really runny or runnier, like a newer jar, you don't want to put this much on your squeegee. Okay. So don't do that. I did it because my ink is pretty thick. Now, like I said, I knew I was going to have some waste. Anytime that you mix colors, you have the potential that you're going to make way too much, which I'd rather personally make more than I need so that I know that I have enough, okay? And then I'm going to make sure I don't have any ink on my hands. I'm going to pull that up, okay? And then let me switch this around. Now, I could go ahead and heat set this if I want, and I think I do. Say hi to Dozer. He's out there barking like a maniac, as is usual. Let me put this. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I need to. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing comments, but I forgot, y'all, that I have to refresh the dang thing all the time. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Hey, Lisa. Welcome. All right. So I have my heat press set to 350 for 30 seconds. So we'll go ahead and heat set this. Now, don't worry. If you don't have a heat press, you don't have to heat set in between layers. I like to. Just makes it a little bit easier for me to line stuff up and not smudge ink around because it doesn't dry that fast. But you could totally just do this while it's wet. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and heat set it before I move on, just for my own mental health, okay? Because I cannot be trusted to be doing anything without smudging things around. Hey, Sylvia, how are you, doll? Sorry I've been out of the loop this week and not on my lives. I was out of town for work and it was a pretty crazy week. I ended up having to drive again to New Orleans this week, which I'm hoping next time I'm going to fly in 2 weeks the next time I go. So, oh, I didn't even realize I didn't set my timer that second time. So I'm going to just assume that we hit 30 seconds or so. Okay, so there's that. Now I could stop right here and be happy as a clam, okay? But am I going to? Absolutely not. I'm gonna set that to the side. Here's Dozer in here, hopefully not coming to cause trouble. He's just gonna lay down. I'm gonna take a baby wipe to the front of this and just wipe it, okay, before I get my board eraser out. Now, if I was in the sink, I wouldn't worry about this part. I would just go ahead and run it underwater and then get my board eraser and clean it like normal. But because I'm in here, it's easier for me to clean that excess off before I start scrubbing with the board eraser, just so that I don't clog up my board eraser with a bunch of ink. Okay, so get both sides. Make sure that you got all the ink or paste out of that stencil. And then I'm going to take the microfiber side of my fuzzing cloth and just dry that on both sides, okay? So that'll keep it from getting a bunch of fuzz stuck to it. And the microfiber side will help bring that stick back after it's been washed. As you can see, it's super sticky again. It didn't seem like it was that sticky whenever I first got it wet, and then here we are and it's sticky again. All right, now here's this and my sweatshirt. Okay, I'm gonna lay it back out again, and I'm gonna take my transfer that's fully dry, and I'm gonna just set that back down. I'm gonna line it right back up where it was. Okay, now the tricky part here is if you used a one of our sticky mats and you heat set in between, you may have a problem, okay, because you remove that sticky mat, and sometimes your shirt is stretched, so you don't want to stretch it if you put it on an ink mat. Okay, now I'm gonna just take that, I'm gonna line it up, and then I'm gonna move it over just a slight bit to where it's about just partially halfway off of all of my letters, okay? To where I'm gonna do that one more time. So I want to line it up with everything, and then I'm gonna just slide that over, and I'm going too far on this side. These letters are a little bit more narrow, so I just want to move it over a slight bit to where I get kind of a shadowed effect, okay? And then I'm going to set that back down. I'm a little more shadowed over here than I am on this side. And then I have that black ink. I'm going to take that out and I'm going to go over that entire thing with black, and we should, if all things go right, have a shadowed effect. Now, if you're using an ink mat, I would not pull it off of the ink mat to do the layers. I would just go ahead and clean your transfer, do the second layer, and then pull it off the ink mat and heat set, okay? Because you run the possibility of stretching it whenever you have it on an ink mat, and that can be a problem because then it's hard to line it up. But this looks cool. All right, I'm gonna heat set one more time, and we're doing 30 seconds at 350. Let me So basically what I did here with this color is I mixed pesto with the tiniest amount of black, and I put too much black to begin with, admittedly, okay? And then I stirred it up really good, and I thought, this is still a little bit too dark. So then I took Scout, which is, I don't think it's available anymore, but you could definitely use like Meadow or one of the other lighter greens. Hey Tammy, how are you? Hi Terry, welcome. Hi Tina, I'm from Conroe. It's so nice to have you here. Anyways, you could take one of our lighter, kind of brighter green colors and mix that in and get this kind of lightish, it's like a grassy green for Slytherin, I think. So my original thought in my head was a little bit off with that color green, starting with pesto, but we worked it out together, okay? So we got it. And I didn't start my timer, so I'm going to only go to 15 seconds here. And then because I was yakking, as I do, I can't be helped. Okay. I've been running around all day. I have not been home. Hi, Joanne. How are you? I'm doing well, Tammy. Thanks for asking. I've been busy like crazy around here and running errands. I just got back. I want to go in there and hang out with Chris, so I figured, let me do my live real fast. So this is Shimmer Silver, and I have a paintbrush here. Now, here's a thought that I had, and this is dangerous because when I start thinking, we have problems, okay? But I was thinking that I wanted to do just some very simple silver accents, okay? And I got like the thinnest little paintbrush that I could find. And I'm just going, and I'm going on kind of the same side of my letters, okay? And just adding a tiny line, just a thin line of silver, just to kind of give it a little bit of a pop. Now, my best friend is also Slytherin, and when she sees this sweatshirt, she's gonna be annoyed that I didn't make her one. So now I'm gonna order her one, and I'm gonna make her the same sweater because we match all the time. Everything we wear, we're matching a lot of the time whenever we go places together. She's the one, I think I told y'all, I got some fun purple and pink wigs to wear whenever I go up there to see her in a couple of months. So I'm going to just heat set this. It looks like I'm covering all of it to get that silver heat set. And then we'll be done. You can comment the word house right here on this post. If you want to know the colors for your house, you can comment the house. Hi, Lindsay. How are you? No, I'm not. I was just saying that I have to order you one of these because you were going to be mad whenever you see it. And I intended to order one before I did this project, and then I didn't. So now I need to do that. I know. I'm a good friend. Anyway, I got these pink and purple wigs for us to wear whenever we're together. The next time we see each other, like whenever we go out shopping and etc. So this is the sweatshirt that I made. I think it turned out pretty good. What do you think? I'm liking the silver little accents. They're just very light and not super bright or anything. But I think this is really fun, and it will represent my house. Okay? I love you. Bye. Have a good night.